on the rundown. The nominations are in, and I'll give you my thoughts on all the Oscar nominees and films I feel were overlooked. Todrick Hall is in the news yet again, and this time he's pissed off not only the gays for not supporting the real friends of WeHo, but the real friends of late dancer/DJ Stephen Twitch Boss. When will this sociopathic heifer ever learn to read the room that he's speaking in? Plus, we've got news on Adam Lambert, Scientology overlord David Miscavige, and the firing of TJ Holmes and Amy Robach. On the rundown with your host, Chris Avalon.
Hi. Well, greetings, ladies, gays, and theys. It's your boy, Chris Avalon, and welcome to The Rundown, the sassiest and messiest talk show currently on the internet. Now, in case y'all didn't know and y'all tuning in for this the first time, turn me down a little bit. The Rundown is basically a show where I break down the juiciest headlines and entertainment. So grab yourselves a drink, a snack, a blunt, or whatever makes you feel nice and cozy. And let's get in this good old gig called Hot Topics. Now, before we get into this week's tea, do not forget to smash and like that subscribe button. Tell me with the algorithm, because you know, if I say a curse or whatever the case is, they like to just, they say demonetize. I don't make money off YouTube, quiet as it's kept, but it lets you be aware of when I'm going live and all that other good stuff, and when I'm putting up videos, this, that, and the third. So basically, liking is vitally important. Subscribing is vitally important, so that way you get that, because I don't know, YouTube and their algorithms and the way they playing games now, I don't know. I can't keep up anymore, because I just heard that they keeping people from, like, if you curse, you say something like that, they demonetizing people, like, you can't even say nothing more. They're trying to clip free speech. Like, what is going on? This is why I've gone over to TikTok and be doing other stuff, because, I got more followers and more situations going on over there than on here. But it allows me to do this whole live show and put together this fabulous production brought to you by EJ Hawker. Hey, girl. Okay, so yeah, be sure to follow all the social media platforms down below. I was gonna say down on the row. Down below. When you see right here, the Chris Avalon. It's on my sites, except YouTube, which I think is Chris Avalon OFFI1. I couldn't change that, because once you make something permanent, that's it. So we got a lot of tea to get into. We're going to be talking about Todrick Hall. Man is still in hot water. The real friends of WeHo is in his second episode that aired last night. Yes, I did watch. Don't throw your tomatoes and your lettuce and all other types of things. There's an inflation going on. Y'all need all that fruits and things. Y'all need to eat all that. So don't throw it at me. Save it for your little salad. I did watch the episodes. I'm gonna still watch. I'm not gonna be bullied. I'm not gonna let y'all just be like, well, we're not gonna watch because of Todrick. Like, Todrick is the least of my worries. There's other people on there I want to support, especially Dorion, who we definitely have an exclusive interview where he spoke to Love B. Scott about the show and a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm definitely gonna dive into that interview. We're gonna talk about, like I said, Todrick Hall. There was some stuff he got into. He got some hot water. He went on a whole sociopathic, manic depressing rant about people who was shading him over the show, being a part of the show. People don't want to watch the show, all that stuff. So he went off, and then he got himself in hot water because he started talking about Twitch and implying that all the pressure surrounding the drama going on behind the scenes on the Ellen show with it being a toxic work environment may have played into his being unalive. Which, child, that's not something you need to be asserting yourself in. But we're going to break all that down and all that good stuff. So we're definitely going to talk about that. We got some tea on Adam Lambert. Adam Lambert is promoting a new movie that he's in. he was promoting a movie that he was in over at the Sundance Film Festival, and he basically started spilling a lot of stuff about his past, like the American Idol situation, all the things that I've kind of had a strong thought about. He basically confirmed everything I've been saying over the years just by observation. So we're gonna get into that because he talked about the law, like ABC and that kiss that he did at the American Music Awards. He talked about he clarified the comments that he made about a straight actor playing gay part in the George Michael movie. So we got all that. And plus, we got TJ Holmes and Amy Robach. And then I know in the beginning, y'all did see that I said I was going to talk about, what's that child name? The man from Scientology. But I made an executive decision. Hold on. I got to take the mirror off of my television. You know, I use my TV as my little screen that I can, read off of with my notes. So, I was going to talk about David Miscavige, but I decided, because I don't want Zeno to get me, or send his minions to come to get me, because I know how they be doing them people that's inside Scientology that have escaped. Like, what's her name? Leah Remini and a bunch of them. So I don't want to talk about that. The man gonna miss it. If y'all want to read the article, y'all can go to chrisavalon.com. So I decided to swap that out and talk about Madonna, because Madonna is in the news. There's a story about why she basically, the reason behind why she may be no longer doing the biopic with Universal. So we got all that and a whole lot more, but I just want to tease y'all a little bit. So without further ado, let's get into this show because we're already 10 minutes in. Well, almost 10 minutes, and I'm just rambling. So let's get right to the stories. So let's talk about the Oscars. So on Tuesday morning, the 2022 Oscar winner Riz Ahmed and actress Alyson Williams, who stars in the huge hit of 2023 so far, Megan, which I need to see. First of all, I know it's on demand, so I definitely am going to purchase it. And I'm going to watch it because I didn't get to go see it in the movies when it was this big phenomenon. But I've been hearing so many things about Megan. I'm definitely going to check that movie out. But anyway, let's continue. So Riz Ahmed and Alyson Williams announced the nominations for the 95th Annual Academy Awards. Now, top contender Everything Everywhere All at Once leads the pack with a whopping 11 nominations. Michelle Yeoh and comeback kid Ke Huy Quan, Short Round, and Data. Short Round from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, and Data from one of my favorite movies of all time, The Goonies. Also received actress of Best Supporting Actor, respectively. Lerman's Elvis received 8 nominations. Steven Spielberg's The Fabelmans received 7 nominations. Top Gun Maverick walked away with 6, and All Quiet on the Western Front and The Banshees of Inisherin tied for 9. Now, on the Best Original Song front, Riri, as in Rihanna, received the nomination for the Black Panther Wakanda Forever song Lift Me Up, which I do not like that song. Like, I remember a couple of weeks ago when I did the whole thing about that song and people were up in arms, so they didn't like it. I basically was like, the song is because people was expecting, that's not a Rihanna song. I'm like, it's a song for the movie because of the whole Chadwick Boseman dying and all that mess. So, well, it's not mess that he died, but it's the debacle, you know what I mean, around the film. So that's what the song was for. The song is for the movie. It's not a Rihanna track for Rihanna's upcoming follow-up to Auntie. It's not what that was. So I was talking about it being in the context of the song, of the movie. But I still don't like the goddamn song. But she got an Oscar nomination, so congratulations to her. Also, who else? Oh, and Lady Gaga received her 4th original song nomination for the Top Gun Maverick track Hold My Hand. Now, I do feel like Taylor Swift should have been nominated for Where the Crawdads Sing. She did a song called Carolina. I think that song should have been nominated. I'm not a Swiftie, but I do feel like she should have been nominated for a Grammy. I mean, a Grammy. She has been nominated for Grammys. She's been nominated for an Oscar. But look, I don't make the news. I just report it. Now, Angela Bassett and Jamie Lee Curtis both received Best Supporting Actor nominations for Black Panther Wakanda Forever and Everything Everywhere All at Once, respectively. I strongly believe this trophy is basically Bassett's for the win. I love me some Jamie Lee Curtis. Although I'm still mad at you what you did with Halloween. Like, it started out good with the first one, as in 2018, not the first one, 1978. That'll always be my favorite. But, yeah. I don't like what y'all did with this whole Halloween franchise, but whatever. I loved her in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Now on the Best Actor front, I see it going either way to Austin Butler in Elvis, Colin Farrell in The Banshees of Inisherin, and Brendan Fraser for his role in The Whale. Now on the Best Actress side, I can see the award going to either Cate Blanchett in Tar, which actually I saw today, or Michelle Yeoh in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Now here's the thing, I don't want to get all affirmative actioning, but honestly, I feel like Michelle Yeoh should win this Oscar. And I'm not saying it's because she's Asian, or maybe it is because of that. Because let's be real. Like, look, Nia Long just did an interview with Drew Barrymore. I don't know if y'all saw it, where she was talking about how she auditioned to be in the Charlie's Angels movie, which I think the role eventually went to Cameron Diaz. But the person who I guess was, or maybe it was some executive, whatever, because Drew was like, she loved her, she tested well, but apparently it didn't work out. And they were trying to say, standing next to Drew, she looked too old. And something about her eyebrows, which is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. Oh my God, I cursed on YouTube. Fuck. Anyway, so they had the conversation on the Drew Barrymore show, and I'm glad they broke it all down. If y'all get a chance, definitely check that interview out. It was great. But it was the long-setting situation of how things change, but we still have a long way to go in Hollywood. Y'all want to say y'all are diverse just to say you did it, but you actually don't want to pull the trigger. And I'm glad that they had that conversation, because that's what I've been saying over the years. A lot of times it feels performative, where y'all be saying, oh yeah, we're being diverse. No, you're not. Just because you said you invited a bunch of people of color in a room just to say that, you know, let them audition, knowing full on well you're not going to pick them to win or to even get the part, is a waste of time. But it's just so y'all can sit and say that, oh, see, we're diverse, we're open-minded. Didn't not Viola Davis, Octavia Spencer recently did an interview and said that she experienced more racism in Los Angeles than she did growing up in Mississippi. That's telling about something. See, we want to sit up and act like we're such a progressive, liberal, forward-thinking nation in certain places, but sometimes you go to these liberal areas, they're the most racist. Not saying that Florida and the Bible Belt and the rest of you other places aren't going to get away with what y'all do, but the racism is all over. It's not just in one particular place. It's not just in the red states. The blue states do it too. And I'm a liberal, so I can say that. Well, my views are liberal. More liberal leaning. It's a little both, depending on what the situation is. I have my conservative moments too. So, bringing that into that, that's why I would like to see Michelle Yeoh win, because it's like, you know what, the woman has been in the business for 40 years. Cate Blanchett already has an Oscar. I think she just won one. And her role as Lydia Tarr, while it was amazing to see her, the way she embodied that role of the female composer, lesbian, you know, I love the LGBT community. But I don't know if I like this bitch or if I wanted to kill her. So there was a situation that, like, watching that movie, I just didn't know which end. Like, am I supposed to like Lydia Tarr, or do I want to beat that bitch ass like when she went down in that little dark area trying to get a little teddy bear? Y'all know the scene when she went to give it back to that girl. She drove home because, you know, she was moving like a man in a lot of situations, trying to hunch her damn students. All kinds of craziness that lady was doing in the movie. It's a crazy movie. It's a crazy, twisted movie, but for the most part, I thought she carried the film. But I may have to watch a lot of videos around it to kind of like unpack everything that happened in that movie, because I don't know if I can sit through Tar again. I don't know if I can. It was just a lot on the psyche. Like, you really, if you in a depressed, like, you got to be in a certain kind of mood to get through that film. But with Everything Everywhere All at Once, it was weird. But when you get halfway through the movie, it all starts to fall together and make sense. And to me, I feel like Everything Everywhere All at Once, although it's a weird artsy film and it was beloved by a lot of people, seeing Michelle Yeoh win would be so much. It would be a lot more entertaining than seeing Cate Blanchett, where everybody's like, Cate Blanchett. No, sorry. That role was a little too heavy. I would rather see, because we don't see these, like I said, we don't see these opportunities for people of color when they're telling these stories and it really captivate a universal spectrum of people. I don't think a lot of people saw it, Todd. So moving on from that, and there's a lot of gatekeeping and stuff going on in Hollywood too. So, like I said, Kate is like Frances McDormand and Meryl Streep. If she don't win this year, she'll always have an opportunity to win another one. Now, one of the things that I was a little upset about was the fact that Viola Davis was not nominated for Best Actress for her role in The Woman King, or Danielle Deadwyler for Till. I would have loved to see them both get nominated, but apparently, I don't know if y'all heard, but there was a huge controversial story going around from Kyle Buchanan about the actress Andrea Riseborough, who was one of the other nominations, Best Actor nominees, who received the best, for her role in To Leslie. Apparently, what they said, the film, which was barely released, got her some traction because she relied on her famous friends Ed Norton, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Sarah Paulson to swarm social media to get her nominated, and her tactic may have caused both people like Davis and Deadwyler a possible Best Actress nomination. So the thing is, when you have famous friends and you go around and you being like, well, can you get me nominated and blah 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 and so on and so forth, they're gonna run and you're using your friends for clout. I don't know who the hell is Andrea girl is. I'm sure she's a lovely lady, been acting a while. I don't know her story, but to me it would have been nice to see excuse me, Danielle Deadwyler, even though a lot of y'all didn't probably see Till, and I know Whoopi Goldberg was upset, but she ain't gonna rock that boat. That's in Hollywood. She's way too in that matrix to want to get upset. So I was upset with that. But I don't want to go through all these categories. I'm gonna just go real quick. Well, I just say with the music. Did I say hold on. So let's go with Best Original Song first. So it's like applause from Tell It Like a Woman, music and lyric by Diane Warren. Hold My Hand from Top Gun Maverick, music and lyric by Lady Gaga and Blood Pop. Lift Me Up from Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, music by Thames, Rihanna, Ryan Coogler, and Ludwig Göransson. Natu from RRR, which I heard is a really good movie, and I definitely want to watch it. It's on Netflix, but that shit is 3 hours, so it's going to take me a minute to get through that. This Is a Life from Everything Everywhere All at Once. I really don't know who's going to get this original song one. It'll either go to Lady Gaga or it'll probably go to Wakanda Forever. It'd be cute if it went to RRR. That's the only nomination they get. So I would like to see them probably win that. Now, let's move on up to, because I don't want to do screenplay, best adapted. Let's do best supporting actress. So Angela Bassett, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Hong Chow, The Whale. Kerry Condon, The Banshees of Inisherin. Jamie Lee Curtis, Everything Everywhere All at Once. And Stephanie Hsu, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Now, I do love Jamie Lee Curtis and Everything Everywhere All at Once, and I love Angela Bassett, but sorry, I think Angela Bassett is going to take this. Y'all literally have set her up to win, and it is well deserved and long overdue. Angela Bassett has been in this business for a long time. She should have won playing Anime Bullet, and What's Love Got to Do with It, but y'all done cheated her out of that damn award. So she got to go out for playing Queen Ramonda and make history as the first and only so far actor to win an Oscar for portraying a superhero character in an MCU movie, that I think let her be the first. DC already got their 2 Oscars. Heath Ledger won one for playing the Joker, and Joaquin Phoenix won it for playing the Joker. It's funny, the Joker done got everybody Oscars. Best Supporting Actor, Brendan Gleeson, The Banshee of Inisherin, Brian Tyree Henry, Causeway, Judd Hirsch, The Fablemans, Barry Keoghan, The Banshees of Inisherin, and Ke Huy Quan. I think it should go to Ke Huy Quan. He's like the comeback kid. He hasn't acted since he was a kid because there was no opportunities, and that to me is like a story of what him winning would be a perfect example of why people would want to come to Hollywood and become an actor, because if they see something like that instead of some typical white person winning, to me it opens that door. I know a lot of people don't like the whole affirmative action kind of tilt that I'm bringing to this, but to me We need diversity in Hollywood. For far too long, white people have been able to tell their stories. White people have been always having a seat at the table. White people have been able to do whatever. It would be nice to see people who have stepped away from Hollywood and get this award. And I think Kiwi Kwan would be perfect. Now, Best Lead Actress, Cate Blanchett for Tar, Ana de Armas for Blonde, Andrea Riseborough to Leslie, Michelle Williams, The Fableman. She's been nominated so many times, but I don't think she's won. And Michelle Yeoh, Everything Everywhere All at Once. I already told y'all, I think Michelle Yeoh should get it. I haven't seen Blonde. I'm not, I can't, because I've heard so many things about that film. I don't want to see it. I don't care about To Leslie. And I might get around one of these days seeing The Fablemans, whatever ends up on a streaming service. But right now, I just don't care enough. Now, so Michelle Yeoh it is. Best Lead Actor, Austin Butler in Elvis, Colin Farrell, The Banshees of Inisherin, Brendan Fraser, The Whale, Paul Mescal, After Sun, and Bill Nighy, Living. Now, I love Bill Nighy because, you know, he will always be Victor to me in Underworld. That is like one of my favorite villains. But I don't know who's going to win in there. It's basically a three-way tie, in my opinion, between Brendan Fraser, Colin Farrell, and Austin Butler. It could go either way. Colin Farrell has been getting a lot of, you know, love for his role in The Banshees of Inisherin. Brendan Fraser, I know a lot of people have been talking about. I know he had the whole thing. What was the Golden Globes? That piece of shit award show. I don't know why we still have that crap. But with the American Foreign Press, I mean the Hollywood Foreign Press, y'all are a joke, and the ratings basically show that. But I like to see it either go to Colin Farrell or Brendan Fraser. So it's one of those two. I saw Austin Butler in Elvis. I didn't particularly like Elvis, the movie, but I thought that Austin Butler did a phenomenal job as Elvis. I don't care about Best Director. They could fight that out. Now, this is the last one, and we can move on. Best Picture, All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar, The Way of Water. I don't know why Avatar was nominated. I guess because it's $1 billion film, but I don't see it winning. I don't even know why y'all put that in there. To me, I feel like y'all could have swapped out Avatar. Well, first let me read it, and then I'll give my opinion. So I said All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar, The Way of Water, The Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fablemans, Tar, Top Gun Maverick, Triangle of Sadness, and Women Talking. Okay, so I can see why all these other movies in here. Personally, I don't think Avatar or Top Gun should be in there. Y'all could have swapped that out and put in like The Batman. To me, The Batman was like cinematic fierceness. The acting was great. Like I could have seen Paul Dano getting nominated for that role, but I think was he nominated for anything? I know he wasn't. See, Paul Dano, I thought he would have gotten a nomination for his role in The Fablemans. He didn't get a nomination. So y'all could have nominated him for his role in The Batman as the Riddler. I thought he did a great job as that character. Top Gun Maverick was a good movie. Is it Oscar worthy? No. So I don't see that winning. Avatar: The Way of Water, I've been hearing so many great things about it. People love it. It grossed $2 billion, yes, with a B, at the box office. But whatever. I didn't see the movie yet, so I can't critique it. But, and I do want to see it eventually. I heard that the original one is coming to Disney Plus. So I definitely want to check out Avatar when it comes out. However, should it be nominated for Oscar? I don't know. So I thought The Batman should have been nominated, but they didn't nominate that. So anyway, we'll find out who wins next month when the Oscars come out. And that's that. So let's move on. Because I was even getting bored talking about the Oscars. So hope the Oscars won't be boring when it airs. All right, so let's talk about Todrick Hall. And it's a lot, child. So after the Real Friends of WeHo was slaughtered by critics, and online hate got so bad social media comments had to be disabled, Todrick Hall got online and decided to make things worse by clapping back at the show's haters. Now, the 6-part series, which follows 6 semi-famous queens as the manufactured drama in a city they don't even hang out in, immediately became engulfed in controversy the minute it was announced that the series would be sandwiched between RuPaul's Drag Race and Untucked. What made things worse was when fans found out that RuPaul's Drag Race was normally ran for 90 minutes on VH1 before moving to MTV for its 15th season would be cut down to 42 minutes with commercials. That didn't sit right with fans, as one fan even took matters into their own hands by launching a Change.org petition to restore Drag Race back to its 90-minute format. Now, as I pop up and click open this situation, let's see how many I want to see how many signatures they got so far. So as this live video is going on, it says they're trying to get 35,000 signatures. It is so far at 32,703. And the petition was started by Brandon Wu, who said this: I know this is probably petty, but MTV and WoW presents, we would like RuPaul's Drag Race to return to 90-minute episodes. The 90-minute format was unique to any other reality competition show where we actually have context for the content of episodes. Also, we really don't want the Real Housewives of WeHo to air. Given Todrick Hall's problematic behavior last year on Celebrity Big Brother, among other things, it's irresponsible to give him a platform he doesn't deserve, and he refuses to take accountability. So we ask politely and aggressively to add Drag Race to allow Drag Race to have the 90-minute fans deserve. Now, if y'all want to go sign that petition, just go over to chrisavalon.com and you can just look up the article. Gay Twitter drags Todrick Hall for chastising the people for not supporting Real Friends of WeHo. The link is there. If you want to sign it, sign it. Back to this. Now, I should point out that Brad Goreski, James Hall, Curtis Hamilton, and Joey Zarzak have spoken out against all the Drag Race outrage, but I believe that the gripe shouldn't be taken out on shady SMTV. And I said this last week when we did the whole breakdown of the first episode of Real Friends of WeHo. This is the MTV thing. So what they're trying to do is, because I've heard people say that they want to cut it down to an hour so that way they could do what they usually do at MTV. Rerun episodes 20 goddamn times a day. Like they do fucking ridiculousness. And Wild 'N Out and all the other shows that they have. The very few that they have left. Because I already told y'all, MTV is the network where shows go to die. I told y'all that. So and I don't know why in their mind they think that, oh yeah, let's do a destination night. So we have Drag Race, then we have Real Friends of WeHo, and then we have Untucked. Oh, put all the games together. The problem with that is people don't watch TV like that anymore. People stream. People, they don't watch cable. I know a few dinosaurs that keep cable around, one of them being my roommate. He wants to be a dinosaur and keep his damn cable box. I move beyond that. I'm more progressive. I'm all about the internet. And there's plenty of streaming services. If you want to watch like MTV, well, first of all, I thought that MTV, if you were smart, you would be like Peacock, but they did with Bravo, and put Bravo on Peacock. So that way you have to go see the Bravo show on the Bravo channel first. And if you don't have Bravo, you just wait until the next day, and Peacock will basically put the Bravo stuff on the Peacock. The Bravo stuff on Peacock. So that's how I watch the Real Housewives. But MTV, why don't y'all put y'all programming on Paramount Plus? That makes no sense. How people have to figure out, wow, how can they watch MTV and all these other shows if you don't put it on, your streaming service? Because that's what people are doing now. More people are using streaming service than they use a cable. Cable's too damn expensive. Unnecessarily so. So, James Hall and all them, like I said, they spoke out about it. They said that they love the fans. They know they're passionate. They have a right to be upset, but they will support and all that other stuff. They spoke out about it. I'm not going to read everything they say word for word because we'll be here all night trying to break all this stuff down. But we're going to get to what Todrick said. When I could scroll down and get it. Okay, so this is where he went. He went to his Instagram in a series of posts that chastised and gaslight the gay community for having the absolute goal of criticizing the refusal to watch the series based on vapid, stereotypical caricatures of gay people. First, he reenacted the Regina George fugly slut scene from Mean Girls, and I'll never look at that damn movie the same again. So he did that. I posted a little stuff on the article. He also published a 9-page letter before the show aired saying, "Dear friends, family, and fans, tonight a new show I'm a part of, The Real Friends of WeHo, premieres on MTV. This is very bittersweet for me because while I am very proud of the work we all did, I have to mentally prepare myself for the insane influx of hate that comes my way. It is extremely difficult to stay grounded and remember that most of the people spewing hate does personally know me as human." I'm trying to read this shit. Why did I put this shit in a script font? Because, girl, I'm struggling. The struggle is real. It's like I can't even read. But anyway, when an LGBTQ plus show was announced, you'd think any pushback would have come from the church or conservatives upset with 3 hours of queer programming on a major network. But a closer look would show you that the call was coming from inside the house. We fight for acceptance, yet we don't accept our own. We fight for representation, then fight against it when we get it because it doesn't come in the form we'd hoped. So here are my thoughts going into the night and this new chapter of my life. For the first time ever, MTV has 3 consecutive hours of queer representation, and the gays are creating potential to get a queer show taken off the air. Instead of focusing on the other 165 hours of the week where representation is either lacking or non-existent. Well, that's not true, because there's plenty of shows on TV that feature queer characters. You're not the only show. It said MTV would not ask RuPaul to cut her Emmy Award-winning hit on his 15th season to accommodate our little 6-episode show. The decisions were made months in advance, and even after our 6 weeks are up, you won't be getting 90-minute episodes. Let's practice fact-checking, blah, 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 so on and so forth. So I know I gave you a little bit of that because I talked about it last week. Now here's what he said after the premiere. He posted this thing. He said if the haters had watched the show, they would have seen an appearance of Emmy Award winner beacon of Black queer community and ally Issa Rae. Well, I did watch the show and I told y'all about it. I said Issa Rae was on the show, but she was on the show because she knows Curtis Hamilton. Curtis Hamilton did a couple of episodes of Insecure, and that's why he was on the show. I mean, she was on the show because they had to have that interaction. He also mentioned 2 beloved winners from Drag Race franchise, Bob and Monet, because they were on the show, and I said that they were on the show because they had Todrick on the episode of Sibling Rivalry. But I also heard that people were coming at Bob and Monet for having Todrick on Sibling Rivalry, and I think that there was a super chat or something or another that they rescinded, that somebody sent, and I guess they threw shade at them, so they sent the money back. It was like, we're not going to accept it because I guess you're not going to come at us for who we have on our show. Now, here's the thing. Bob and Monet have a right to have whoever they want on their podcast. If you don't like the person that's on the show, don't watch it. You know how many shows that are currently on social media, on YouTube and all these other places where they have celebrities that I don't particularly care for? I don't watch it. It's that simple. I don't understand why people always feel the need, if they don't like somebody, to air their grievances on why they don't. How dare you have, excuse you, bitch. First of all, I can have whoever the fuck I want on my goddamn show. If I want to interview Jesus goddamn Christ, if I want to dig up his body, wherever the fuck they got his ass at, I'm going to interview him. Whether you like it or not. If you don't like it, don't watch it. But we're in this time of where people, when they don't like something, they have to air their grievances and let you know, and they want you to just immediately side with them. And if you don't, then they want to cancel you too. It's like, okay, you don't like me, somebody else will. Now back to the story. He says the fact that our community is boycotting the show is a shame. He also talked about Curtis coming out of the closet, who I did watch the recent episode and I saw he was still struggling with this whole thing, because I know in next week's episode they go to this wig thing and they're going to Palm Springs because Todrick's going to be performing at Palm Springs Pride. And Curtis is feeling uncomfortable. He doesn't want to go to Pride. He doesn't want to wear the wigs. He doesn't do it. No, look, here's the thing. Not all gay people need to be the stereotypical gay. Not all of us walking around in pumps and booty shorts and a wig and makeup. We are not a monolith. And I know that the industry loves to perpetuate that because it makes it easier for straight people to identify a gay person. So you pick these stereotypes because it's easier for the people at home, you know, the straight folks or whatever, to watch it. But you got to think about your audience. And another thing I thought about, he was sitting there saying this is about LGBTQ representation. No, it just represents the G in the LGBTQ plus. Doesn't represent the entire demographic. And yeah, we got 3 black people on the show, but at the same time, you have no women, lesbians, meaning no trans women. And they're like, when they say like, if you go on the YouTube shows, they have many reality shows based in this whole Real Housewives type of vibe. There are trans women on the shows. There are non-binary people on these shows. There's a plethora of different people of different gender identities on these shows that are represented. The Real Friends of WeHo is a mainstream show, but they're still stuck in this time of this is what gay is. And what a gay is a Todrick Hall and a Brad Goreski. They're the representation of all gays. So anyway, he said, thanks for those who are supporting the show. Drag Race wasn't polished in its first season. Neither was Real Housewives. Queer audiences didn't support the A-list, Noah's Ark, Fire Island, Bros, Prom, or Drag Race initially. They want 20 more minutes of a show, but instead of taking it up with the programming people who made these timing decisions, they're attacking us as if we had something to do with it. Here's the thing. We did support Noah's Ark. Noah's Ark lasted 2 seasons on Logo. The problem was Noah's Ark was a huge hit for Logo, and they didn't want that because it was featuring black homosexuals. So that's the tea with that. Like, y'all don't like when people of color become this big thing, or maybe Logo ain't had the damn money. I need the true tea for Patrick and Pope, but Noah's Ark could have lasted many more seasons. I know plenty of people that was watching that show and was supporting it. So I don't know what he's talking about. We didn't support Bros because you were coming across like Billy Eichner in a lot of your grievances. You think, oh, well, because you're gay and you made this film that's totally out of touch with the rest of the world, it's dated and it's tired and wasn't funny. To me and many people. But because we didn't support Bros, we're bad people. I supported the A-list. I watched both seasons of the New York one and the first season of the Austin one. And quiet as a skip, I did hear that this show, Real Friends of WeHo, was initially supposed to be called the A-list Los Angeles. We're going to get into that. And it was confirmed by Dorion. So we're going to get into that story in a second, but I just want to wrap this up. So he says, but maybe the episodes are shortened because MTV famously reruns its shows in 1-hour segments, blah, 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 so on and so forth. So it's a whole lot. You can go on my website and read all of that. It was just so much that he was going into where, you know, he addressed certain things but really didn't address it. Then he doubled down on the criticism of Real Friends of WeHo, said, we are thrilled to watch rich Kardashians of Real Housewives. We only want to watch gays be underdogs. And it's like, I don't watch the Kardashians. In fact, I can't stand them hoes. I try to avoid them build the bitches any chance I get. The reality is, I can't escape them because the media continues to want to shove them down our throat. And here's the reality. The Kardashians aren't as poppin' as they would like, as the media would like you to believe. We ain't keeping up with them like that. Personally, we don't care. But because Kris Jenner got her hand up TMZ's ass and all these other people, they continue to spoon feed us. And what pisses me off even more is that black blogs and black media continue to support these hoes who have just continuously stolen from the black community. Makeup ideas, fashion, hair, all kinds of stuff. The whole beauty brand is stolen from black people. Black women. So, but all y'all consider together the platform, white and black. I don't care about the Kardashians. I don't want to keep up with them hoes. I've been saying that. So I don't watch them. So don't generalize. Because not all of us keep up with the Kardashians or care. Now, The Real Housewives, it depends on the franchise. I do watch New York when it was on, but I got to see what's going to happen when they reinvent it and finally bring it to TV, who they're going to cast on the show. I do watch Beverly Hills because of Garcelle and all the other drama. I do watch New Jersey, looking forward to new season because of Teresa delusional behind. And a whole bunch of others. So I'm looking for, so there's certain Housewives shows I watch. I don't watch all of them. And I watch Atlanta. So, but here's the thing with them. Those women are entertaining. They're unashamed in the craziness that they do. So I don't know why you sit over here trying to compare what you guys are doing to the Housewives. Now I do agree. There are some people out there that y'all will support the Housewives, but look down on gay people. And I love the fact that Todrick did address in this last episode that even he's guilty of it. We are so quick to support the Dua Lipas, the Lady Gagas, the Madonnas, the Kylies, the Britneys, all of these pop divas, but y'all will not show that same support for these LGBTQ artists that are struggling and are out here trying to make music for our community. But we bring up the women. So we do need to give that equal love and support to our own as well as those divas. Now, I love my pop girls, but I love my queer pop artists too, and I do support them. I listen to Kim Petras. Even though I don't know why he put Kim Petras in there. Kim Petras is a part of our community. So you would think they would listen to her. Like, she's a trans girl. So I listen to Kim Petras. I listen to my LGBTQ rappers. Like, Case the Killer is one of my favorites. I listen to Lil Nas X. I listen to Adam Lambert and Sam Smith. Sam Smith's album, definitely, I did live for it. This, when I listened to it yesterday, yeah. So, but the child, I would get into the rest of this article, but child, we will be here all night. But the tweets was the key. So let me read you a couple of these tweets, and then we can move on to the next topic. They said, what Todrick Hall and other self-important, shallow gay artists don't understand is that we do not want to be represented by another stereotypical, mean-spirited, catty, attituded gay band on a major platform directed for all audiences. You are not a martyr, just uncreative. And this is because Pop Crave posted, Todrick addresses the queer community in lengthy letters shared to social media, saying, when our LGBTQ show was announced, you'd think any pushback would have come from the church, but the call was coming from inside the house. So that whole situation. Justin Kirkland said, if Drag Race really wanted to build out a super gay Friday night, they'd nix the Real Friends of WeHo and continue with the recent yet beloved tradition of airing a super queer movie after each episode. Licensing Death Becomes Her must be cheaper than Todrick Hall's salary. Harrison Brocklehurst said, Todrick Hall is so out of touch, it's unreal, and nothing proves it more than him spitting his dummy out because nobody wants to watch his load of rich gays on Hollywood over queens from Drag Race, showcasing their talent and artistry. Another one said, Todrick Hall trying to spin the disdain for rough friends of WeHo is hate within our community is the most tone-deaf thing. We don't want this show because it's about typical WeHo gays. Show us something interesting and not self-absorbed. Let's do one more, and then we'll. Yes, Todrick, we do need more inclusion and representation in media other than Hold on. Yes, Todrick, we do need more inclusion and representation in media other than competitions. However, you are not the representation we want. You are toxic. Pass the torch. Maybe then people will get paid. Well, look, MTV picked them. They thought that he was going to be, that we were going to hate watch for one thing, but it was all for the wrong reasons. But here's the thing for me. The series of posts to me felt like someone was having a manic episode. And someone who has paid attention to how Frederick responds to people and call him out on his BS, he has always come across to me as someone who fails to read the room. And he always comes across as nothing more than a sociopath in a lot of stuff he says. And what the sociopathic behavior is going to be is what I'm about to read y'all in a minute. So I don't know why people like him and Hollywood execs expect us to support low-hanging TV fruit just because it's pandering to the gay community. Like, we are not a monolith. I've said this before. So what gay people want to see are films and shows that reflect who we are, and picking a bunch of self-absorbed queens to shout at each other. So that's not what we want. We basically, don't get me wrong. I live for a Kiki and a Kato and a Caddy. We watch the reality shows that we watch. But there needs to be a balance. And I don't think we get a balance from a lot of these girls. Except I have to say, Dorion read Joey for Filth in this recent episode, bitch. And he was up there calling his security and stuff. And the security thing, I was like, who does he remind me of with the whole security thing? Kenya Moore. So he is the Kenya Moore of this franchise. Hey, Sailor Mermaid. That's what Dorion gives me. Dorion gives me Kenya Moore of Real Friends of WeHo. You know, he got the butter skincare. She got Kenya Moore hair care. She likes to call on security, have security when the girls would want to kill her because she was being messy. He the same way. So I think, as usual, Todrick's missing the point. So here's what I'll have to explain to him. I think people would actually watch the show if he wasn't on it. And the series had a lot more to say about his characters outside of Curtis being an actor coming to terms with being an out gay man and Dorion dealing with his social anxiety. So outside of that, with Curtis struggling with his sexuality and the pleasing of his family, because that's what it seems like he's worried about. It's like, you know what? I'll even use myself as an example. Sometimes what it boils down to is you have to come out and be yourself and not worry about what other people think. Once you put out in the ether, that's for them to have to deal with. That's for them to have to sit with. Let them deal with it in their own time. But I'll be damned if I'm going to come out the closet and I'm going to have to hold myself back because I'm worried about people coming from my mother or my sister or whatever or my brother or whatever the case is. Oh, your son a faggot. I've had that said about me by relatives. And my mother and my sister have defended me. My sister cussed my uncle out because he was saying, oh God, don't you do. So I appreciate when that's how you know that love is there. When you have siblings, you have a parent who will have your back over that situation. So it's like, yeah, I'm gonna let you sit on it and deal with it in your own time or whatever the case is. But at the end of the day, I have to live my life and I have to be me. I'd be damned if I'm gonna sit on some damn pins and needles because you worrying about what other people think. You can't control what the other people think. All you can do is tell your truth. You either accept it, you don't. Take your time with it. But I have to live my life at some point. I have to live my tea. That's all. So let's move on, because I got more Todrick news. So now, in an interview earlier this week, Todrick implied that the stories surrounding Ellen DeGeneres and a toxic work environment at her long-running talk show may have played a part in the DJ's death. DJ tWitch, that is. So shout out to Newsweek for this story. Now, the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner coroner confirmed to Newsweek that the beloved Ellen DeGeneres show's DJ cause of death was being unalived. You know, I gotta change certain words. After he was found on December 13th in a motel room in Encino, California. Now, in a recent interview with Page Six, singer and choreographer Paul, a friend, suggested that the pressure surrounding workplace scandal deeply affected the dancer's state of mind in the moments before his death. Now, allegations that it was a tough environment for staffers behind the scenes of DeGeneres' show emerged in 2020. Boss defended and stood by the show. Now, people were looking at him like, why are you still supporting this woman? Hall, a RuPaul Drag Race former judge, I don't know why y'all got it as judge, because he hasn't judged the show in years, said, and I think he was under a lot of pressure. I don't know what was going on in his life that may have led to him to make that decision, but I do understand, he added. Right now, when I get online some days, like right now, if I was in the wrong position of where this abuse would keep happening for years and years and years, there's only so much a human being can take. Whole speculation about Boss's state of mind in the months leading up to his death basically, and should come as no surprise, but sparked a huge backlash on social media. Funny enough, when I first read this article, I was like, did this sociopath literally just assert himself in not only speculating that Twitch may have unalived himself because of the drama that was happening behind the scenes on the show of the Ellen DeGeneres. Why are you supporting her? He's getting a check from her. He works on the show. He's an executive producer. He was made executive producer in 2020 So the final 2 years of the show, he was made an EP. So I'm just gonna be like, well, these allegations are out and people are coming at you, so I'm gonna quit a high-paying job that I'm supporting my family and my family, my wife and kids and stuff, because y'all heard some stuff and y'all don't like the fact that now Ellen's is evil, whatever. And I don't even think that's the reason. And even if that was the reason, who are you to even bring that up and address it, or to even put that out there in the universe? His wife Allison and the kids are grieving their father. They're mourning the death of someone who they loved and adored. And for you to take this moment and try to make it about you, that, oh, when I go and read things online, blah, 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 blah. It's like, but you brought this stuff upon yourself. Twitch did not bring all of this, whatever, speculation upon himself. You're the one who have treated people the way you treat them. You look through them like they ain't ish. Got a whole kinds of attitude. If they can't do nothing for you, you want nothing to do with them. Well, if they ain't white. But I thought it was funny because on the show, he was literally trying to give perspective to Joey about why Dorion came at him the way he did. Because, how do you feel being the only... It could have been because he's the only black person in a room full of white people. Because we're always feel like a minority. It's like, look at you trying to be the voice of reason. But you know, a broken clock can be right twice a day. As I always say. And with Todrick, like I said, this whole show is like his redemption tour. He is pulling a RuPaul Drag Race. You were self-producing yourself for this show. Because, you know, they was hoping you was going to be the villain. But you pretty much just made yourself to be something else. So, one Twitter user by the name of Kevin Ortega Rojas said, Todrick Hall is a garbage dumpster of a human being, speculating on the unaliving of another man, and then making the conversation about himself and why people hate him. Todrick, we love Twitch. For the people defending Todrick, Twitch was not following him. They were not friends, and he showed the receipt. He put in Todrick's name, and it says no users found. So the evidence is there. So Todrick tried to act like Stephen Twitch boss was his friend when he wasn't. Now, echoing that sentiment, Kempire, you know, that other YouTuber that loves stealing my shit and putting it on his page, he did it to me twice already. And just because your numbers is higher than mine, don't think that I don't know what the fuck you be doing. Just putting it out there. Like, you stole my bit from the one I did on Wendy Williams' husband, the whole voice mocking down to the, I gotta drink my water. It's out there. You can definitely check it on my TikTok. And you took my, I watched The Real Friends of WeHo, so you didn't have to. That was literally my line on all my social media platforms. So you just like, love that you love to watch. Love you for watching, boo. But anyway, so he went and wrote on his Twitter, this is why people continue to not like Todrick. In one breath, he's talking about why Twitch may have taken his life and then makes it about himself. Let's not speculate anymore. The family is still trying to heal. Hashtag RIP Twitch. So, several users also on platform also piled in with their thoughts. Todrick is wrong on so many levels for putting out a statement like this at a time like this, wrote one Instagram user. Another one wrote, the only person that knows what happened, why it happened, isn't here. Todrick needs to stop. This man has a wife. She didn't ask you to speak out on the call. Just stop. Tacky and unnecessary. On Ellen's birthday post of this, tacky, said another. The DeGeneres, who has spoken about her admiration for Boss on numerous occasions, turned 65 on January 26th. Now, shortly after Boss passed away, the DeGeneres took the Instagram and blah, 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 and so on and so forth, gave her a whole thing. And here's what I said. You had no idea what someone is going through, and it is not your place to speak on what may have driven someone to take their own life if they're not here to speak for themselves. So unless Twitch is here to speak on unless Twitch gonna rise up, like y'all still waiting on Jesus to rise up after that third day, y'all still believe that foolishness. If y'all still expecting Twitch to come back on this earth and tell y'all why he unalived himself, then keep your mouth closed and mind your goddamn business. Stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. Say your own stuff. Stop trying to assert yourself on other people's ish. So, Todrick, you know, you really make it so hard for people to like you. It's like you really try to self-produce yourself on this show to make yourself come out in a nice light or whatever the case is. And yeah, definitely read that at the bottom. If y'all struggling or whatever, text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org. But you really make it so hard for people to like you with the stuff you be saying. Because like I said, you self-producing yourself on this real fake people's WeHo. And then you go online and you start saying these things, and it's like it's taking you right back to why people are shading you and coming at you. Like this isn't the place or the time for you to be saying this stuff. Like I said, just stick to the rivers and the lakes that you used to and talk about yourself, which is something you should be good at. With that ego you got. Anyway. Let's move on and let's get into this final story. And then we're going to have to take a break, child, because Mama needs some water. So let's get into this Dorion Renaud. Renaud. I'm going to just say it because I don't know why people are trying to say Dorion Renaud. He said his name was Dorion Renaud. That's what we're going to call him. He said it himself in the damn confessional. So I'll go on by what the man said. Now, y'all remember Dorion because he was first introduced to us in 2008 when he premiered on College Hill, Atlanta, the show that was on BET. Soon after, the Texas native he was a model, he graced the pages Vogue, he was a host on NBC's Extra, he was also an actor, he was on the show called In the Cut, which was on Bounce TV. I wouldn't even know where that channel was if you pointed it to me. You showed me where it was. But in 2018, he launched the skin line Butter, which provides Black men and women with attainable solutions for their pressing skincare concerns. Now, the show, the skincare line is very successful. And, you can go to BC's and all that other stuff and you get you some of that good old butter skincare. And so I know a lot of people was like, because I did hear people say, well, with all this money, he's got so much money and he's a successful guy, this and the third. Why would he do a show like The Real Friends of WeHo? And I'm like, why not? First of all, it's like, yeah, I have a lot of money. I'm successful as a businessman. But what the show will provide is an outlet and an audience for me to showcase my work. That's what a lot of people do. They have brands inside of there and they use these reality shows to promote their brand. That's why a lot of people do the reality shows. Then they get caught up in the matrix of the fame and it becomes a whole nother, situation. So, we're not even going to get into the show being panned and inside the third. He's going to get into that and all that other stuff. But, so what is the rest? Let me get to the other stuff. So, y'all already know the show's not well received. We already talked about the show being cut down from 90 minutes to 60 minutes, which, I'm already upset about because I already with Drag Race, everything goes by so fast watching the show, which kind of irritates me. It's like, I want them to bring the deliberation back between the judges. We need that back because the show just feels so short, disjointed, doesn't make any kind of sense. Even when they did the reading challenge, like each queen got one read. Like, what the hell was that? I blinked one good time and the damn reading challenge was over. Anyway, so here's what he said, because he talked about why he got involved in the show, or how he got involved with the show. And then he also talked about how, he talked about a lot of stuff. He said he didn't even know who was going to be on the show, and they went and changed the show's name, the name and everything on him. He didn't know what the name of the show was going to be until we did, basically. So he was asked, how did you get involved with the show? He said, I was approached back in March of 2021. It was pitched to me as the A-List Los Angeles. It was supposed to be a reboot of the series The A-List New York, which we did talk about on my TikTok. I said the A-List walked so a show like The Real Friends of WeHo could run. Which basically got a lot of hits on TikTok. I want to thank you all for supporting that video, by the way. I think it got over 1 million. Yeah, I think it was over 1 million views or a 1 point something thousand something. I don't know. I gotta look at the numbers, but it's a lot of damn hits. If I get the emails. Okay, so he said, I was told it was going to be a docu-series style that followed me working on my brand and showing parts of my personal life. Also, I was told the show would be on the streaming service Paramount Plus. I initially said no several times, but finally signed my contract at the last minute. Now, he was asked at the time, did you at least know who the other cast members were going to be? Dorion said, during the process of them courting me, production told me names of people who were being approached. Aside from Curtis Hamilton, who I've been friends with for a few years, I had no idea who was on the show until filming. I was home filming stuff with Butter for 2 weeks before I even met the cast. Production was very tight-lipped on who was on the show. Keep in mind, the whole time I'm thinking the show is still the A-list Los Angeles. Multiple sources confirmed to us that the show was being pitched as a reboot featuring people in LA LGBTQ communities such as NSYNC member Lance Bass and his husband Michael Turchin, as well as Riley Russ, the nephew of Jeannie Russ, the controlling owner and president of the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, several of the people who were contacted about the show said it was intended to be on the Paramount Plus streaming service. So he's reiterating that he's really pushing forward that it was supposed to be on Paramount Plus, which in my opinion would have been a much better fit. Why not be on the streaming service? Like I said, what they should have did with the other show. Drag Race needs to be on Paramount Plus, not no damn MTV. Now, Lance Bass and his husband Michael Turchin being a part of this show, I think would be a great idea, and I'll tell you why. Lance Bass has 2 clubs, one's a bar, kind of, sort of, and another one's a nightclub. He has 2 establishments in West Hollywood. One is Rocco's, which I remember Rocco's was around when I was in LA, when I moved out there back in 2020. And now he has Heart, which is a big nightclub in West Hollywood. So Lance Bass has establishments in West Hollywood. They could have been filming stuff there. They could have gotten exclusive, like all kinds of stuff. I don't know why MTV didn't go with it. Or maybe Lance was just like, no, I don't want to do it. I don't know what happened. Or maybe that's what they told him, but it didn't turn out that that's who they were going to actually court. He also, when did you learn the show's name change from the A-list Los Angeles and that it was going to air on MTV? He said, I found out in a press release. We had no idea it was going to MTV and that it would take away from Drag Race. I watched Drag Race and I love Rue. He's iconic. Again, I was still under the impression that this was the A-list Los Angeles for Paramount Plus. So I was shocked to find out it was going to MTV. I didn't sign up for MTV. I also didn't see the poster beforehand. I saw it at the same time as everyone else, and that's where I had this issue. They promote the show as 6 gay men living in West Hollywood who are friends. First, I don't live in West Hollywood. I live in the Valley. I love the Valley. I never go to West Hollywood. I'm not in that scene. Aside from Curtis, I wasn't friends with any of the cast. I also have never confirmed or talked about my sexuality. I felt betrayed because they have me identifying as something I'm not. I'm Dorion Renaud. I mean, you're on a show called The Real Friends of WeHo with 6 gay guys. So how did they out you? I mean, there's no tutor. There's no fish there's no women on the show. So I don't get it. But okay, go off. Yeah, and the poster, you could definitely, like, I know posters. I have enough photographer friends to know that you could tell based on the way everybody was posed that they were individual shots that were taken and put together as to make it look like a group, especially the way Todrick was posing with that one leg up and like turned up like this, like he's Beverly Peel or Beverly Johnson. Now they said the premiere episode ended with a conflict between you and cast member Joey Zarzig. Can you explain what happened? He said, here's the thing, during the pandemic, I was home working. I really wasn't social during that time, and Butter was my main focus. So that time period only amplified my anxiety. So here I am going into a scene with people I don't know. I'm at the event, my anxiety is kicking in, and I'm speaking with Curtis when this guy approaches me, as he's talking about Joey. I was a little taken aback because I didn't know who he was. This was the first time meeting. This is the first time meeting him. And in quotes, at one point in the scene, you can hear Dorion ask Curtis, "Is he on the cast?" I can say I didn't handle it the best. Oh, that's funny. So it's like y'all didn't even try to edit that part out. Also, on the premiere, we saw well, they talked about, you know, East Ray, having lunch with Curtis. He was talking about how he had Cassie shooting a campaign for butter, which if you saw the second episode, you did see Cassie shoot the campaign that was styled by Brad Goreski. And I did notice that Dorion did throw shade towards Brad because Brad said he couldn't make the shoot because he was sick. And he was like, oh, I don't think he would do that for Jessica Alba or Demi Moore. Like, he would say he was sick and all this other stuff. He would have showed up. A little shade. But Dorion seems like he don't care. And I like that people are unapologetic in what they're going to say. Unlike these Drag Race girls, well, y'all be sitting up there just curbing y'all mouths and editing what y'all want to say because y'all so scared these goddamn trolls on the, you know, the Drag Race fans who sit up here and literally had Mistress Isabella Brooks' Instagram taken down because they didn't like how she was coming across on the show. So y'all spreading lies and saying she's problematic, and Instagram is suspending people's account. I'm like, huh? How are you able to suspend someone just because somebody's mad at them? How is the bully in the right and the owner always wrong? It's like I had to come at somebody because somebody was trying to come for me over a story I did about Beyonce, and I reported them as saying it was hate speech. Oh, and then I get a report back surprisingly from Facebook. I'm not surprised by them at all because I fucking, you know, Facebook has sucked my entire ass with a straw. They go and say, oh, we don't think it's bullying. We don't think it's hate speech. Yeah, okay. Now, if I would have said some shit, y'all would have had me in jail for 30 days. But anyway, back to the show because I'm getting off topic. Oh, and this topic. In the trailer, we see a clip of you refusing to film with an individual because it would hurt your brand. Were you talking Chris Salvatore? He says, and you know, Chris Salvatore gives you a little backstory. He alleged that the cast refused to film with him due to his career on OnlyFans, and he was fired from the show. Dorian says, absolutely not. Production kept me in the dark for so long about the cast. There's no way I can say who comes and goes. He also said that so they were asking, said sound like a lot of dishonesty happening on the production side. He said it kind of happened to him on College Hill, but he was young and didn't have a voice. But he does now when he addresses concerns to the hires up that basically told him to be a happy camper and to promote the show. But he says, but I will not promote something that I cannot stand behind. I tried to leave the show several times, but because he signed that contract, he was stuck. And he said, they asked, do we care to address any of the negativity surrounding the show? He says, it's crazy. We're getting no support. There are people saying the most negative stuff online. Some have gotten death threats, and we aren't getting any support from the network or production company. It's not the cast's fault that we ended up on MTV. I would not have signed on to this show if I knew about the name change, the theme of the show changing, and the network change. I don't feel comfortable representing a city community that I'm not a part of. So they believe, you know, just... They deceived them, had them contract because they needed people. He also said that he's not addressing this topic. He said the production value for what he's seen is pretty good. And he asked the audience, give the cast some grace. Everything in regards to scheduling that is out of our control. Although I may not have worked a lot with the cast, he wants to see everyone succeed. I should also point out that Dorion is absolutely telling the truth when he said he was not promoting this show. I told y'all I was at the Drag Race season 15 premiere in New York around the time where they were about the day before the episode premiere of Drag Race season 15. Got to see I got to see the episode, the first half, in a screening after they did the whole red carpet and the interviews and the photo shoots and all that other stuff. Everybody was there except Dorion. I remember they took the individual photos, then they all came around the end and they took the group photo with the Drag Race girls. Then we went on upstairs and we watched the screening. The only one who did not go to the screening was Todrick. Everybody else was there. Dorian, I told him, did not do any press. He didn't even show up. And yeah, Todrick didn't show up to the screening. So Dorian's right. He's not promoting the show. Like, he just sounds like he's someone who's just not coming behind this thing. And it is what it is, unfortunately. I'm gonna continue. I don't know. I'm already sucked into the show. I'm gonna continue to watch. I know a lot of people feel a way about Todrick, but like I said, Todrick is not the only one that is a part of this franchise. And I'm gonna continue to watch. And I don't think it'll be back for a second season. I highly doubt it. But if they do, I really think that MTV needs to reconsider. Drag Race needs to go back to 90 minutes, or you need to take both shows and move them to Paramount Plus, because um, MTV, y'all ain't it. Outside of the challenge, which I don't get either, because y'all said an hour, but the challenge is 90 minutes. So that whole story about, oh, we need to cut it down to an hour, that's a bunch of BS. Because I've been watching the challenge and I look at the length of the episodes, and it's literally 90 minutes. Y'all got like 45 damn castmates on it. You can't cut that down to an hour, but apparently with 16 queens and a lot of stuff, y'all can do that with that. But okay, whatever. So let me take a quick little break because we're already an hour into the show. When we come back, we're going to talk Adam Lambert, clarifying comments about straight actors playing George Michael. We're going to also talk about him being threatened with a lawsuit over that same-sex kiss he did when he was a part of the American Music Awards. A trans group that deemed that is upset over the Aretha Franklin classic "Natural Woman," saying it's offensive. I got some tea on Madonna replacing her, the biopic, why she's not doing it. And TJ Holmes and Amy Robach been fired, child. So we're going to talk about that and a whole lot more, but don't go away. We'll be right back with more of the rundown with Chris Avalon. Ooh, had to crack my neck.
Welcome to Drinks and Drag, the only show where you get the tea with no chaser. With the cast that's bold and bright like none other, filled with fun and drag, fun games, and lots of laughs. I'm not joking. Take a look at what we got. This is Drinks and Drag.
So, Wendy, you need to get your life. Dust your wig off, come back, and do what you need to do if this is bothering you.
Dust your wig off. SD Lewis said, Wendy is not physically well still, and rumor is she's trying to fight back more of what she currently is supposed to get. Look, I don't know. Honestly, like, whenever we have these conversations about Wendy, it's like, I don't even know what to think anymore. And I've said this many times when I've had comments, when I've been posting things about Wendy and stuff on my Facebook, and then people are in the comments, oh, I'm waiting to hear from her now. And I'm like, you're not going to, because Wendy has always been the person that will tell everybody's business and get paid lovely for it, but won't talk about her own shit whenever she becomes the hot topic. And it's like, you cannot
I feel
pick
like that's a Remy move. Remy's like,
how dare you? Who are you? No, wait, no! Sorry.
There was a topic that came out because we didn't do a show last week because we did the Valentine's episode, and Lindsay was like, oh, I... Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
Not Cassie.
Not Cassie. Dang. What?
Oh, he is shady tonight. That was funny.
That was funny.
Being a celebrity.
With the resident Papi Chulo, Remy. Come get your face beat by the one and only drag beauty queen, Lindsay Aguilera. And the one and only troublemaker himself, Chris Avalon.
So make sure that you follow us on all our social medias at Drinks and Drag Show. And stay tuned for a new season and so much more coming your way. And we can't wait.
I bet. My titties have gotten bigger. Okay. Okay, welcome back. Well, look, I was at the gym today, child. You know, I'm trying to bulk these boobs up. You know, I always like having big chest and big upper body on it. So, but anyway, welcome back to the show. I was doing my deadlifts. I was doing my Bulgarian split squats. Child, them shits hurt. And you try doing that with 100-something pound weights on your shoulder blades. Yeah. But anyway, welcome back to the show. Let's get right into this tea because, you know, we got a lot to get to. So, once again, you know, thank you all for watching. For those of you sticking around. Hey, girl. So, let's get to this Adam Lambert story. So, last week, singer Adam Lambert made headlines when he seemingly responded. Wait, what happened? Hold on. Oh, sorry. Okay, rewind, take two. So let's get into this Adam Lambert story. Okay, so last week, singer Adam Lambert made headlines when he seemingly responded to rumors that White Lotus star Theo James was in the running to star in a biopic about pop icon George Michael. Now, in case you need a reminder, here's what he wrote on the Advocate's Instagram page when they reported the story. Because he was on Watch What Happens Live, and I guess Andy Cohen asked him a question or something about it, and he was saying that they're both Greek. I'm a Greek, he's Greek, put us together, we make a falafel. He made, like, you know, made a little joke, and was saying that he would, you know, if the opportunity presented itself, he would love to play George Michael. So Adam Lambert just posted, "Gay, another straight man playing a gay icon," and kind of put this little, like a little annoyed face emoji. Now, the American Idol alum's comment definitely caused an online debate and reignited the cyclical question if straight actors should play gay roles. Now, while appearing at the Sundance Film Festival in Utah to promote his role in the gay film Fairyland, where funnily enough, straight actor Scoot McNairy plays a gay character, Lambert, who also makes his acting debut in the film, opted to clarify his viral comments. Now, here's what he said, which is what he told Queer Tea, I should say. "I think my comment in no way suggests that I feel straight actors can't play gay roles, because I think they do it really well. I mean, in Fairyland, Scoot McNairy is incredible, a soulful performance, really beautiful. I couldn't see anybody else doing it. And then there's Rami Malek in Bohemian Rhapsody, Taron Egerton in Rocket Man, and they both were great. And Theo James is a great actor too. For me, the thing that I was trying to say is, it's definitely a step in the right direction that these stories are being told, but I would just love to see an out actor play an out icon. It'd just be nice because you don't really see it. Like I said, thank God these stories are being told more frequently, but you would think that they would also create more opportunities for queer actors. And you know, if you saw Kristen Stewart playing Princess Diana, that was one example of a queer actor playing a straight icon, but you don't see that very often either. So some of the conversation that came from the headline, which I think is a really good conversation to have, was people responding, well, it's called acting, and they hired the best actor for the job. And first of all, we find out this George Michael biopic wasn't even a movie yet, so it's a moot point. Yeah, because the family came out and stated that they're not approving of any George Michael movie being made. So even if y'all was to put it out there, it's not happening. But let's entertain it because it's in the news. I understand that viewpoint, but I do think it's a bit naive to say that that's how it works, because we all know, if you're in the entertainment industry, that there's a lot of politics that go into this. It's actually a combination of talent and marketability and appeal and demographics and what movies they all want awards for. You know, it's hard, it's political. So for me, if it's truly an equal playing field, I probably would feel differently. I probably wouldn't roll my eyes, but it's not. And you don't see a lot of queer actors getting major roles that are not queer. I would just love to see more opportunities. It's just a fantasy of mine. I'm kind of like, you know what? Can we just get one, please? There's a common perception that if a queer actor plays a queer role, then it's sort of a niche film, right? Whereas the minute a celebrated straight actor plays a queer character, it's an award show performance. It's Oscar worthy. And it's like a reward that with, they're so brave for playing this part. And in some cases, it is brave. But I also think, what about the people that are brave every day for being that thing? But I also think, what about, oh my God, would you fucking stop annoying me? And in some cases, it is brave, but I also think, what about people that are brave every day for being that thing? But I also think, what about the people that are brave every day for being that? Imagine the real experience they can draw upon. Again, I, in no way, think straight people can't play gay, but do you know what all the headlines around the comment mean? It means that there's a conversation that needs to be had. And you know what? I love a debate. I love talking about complex-ish. I'm down to be on the chopping block for a minute if it means we're going to have a really good conversation. There's just been so many doors closed to our community for so long. You've got to start somewhere. You've got to start giving people opportunities so we do have big gay movie stars. And here's the thing. I couldn't have said it better myself, because this is the gripe I've been having for so long. Everything that I just read that Adam Lambert said, in his quote, is the gripe that I've been having with Hollywood for years. Whenever gay people play gay characters, it's a niche part. It's a niche film. It's a niche this, the niche. But when a straight actor comes in straight, because we don't necessarily know what they do behind closed, 9 times out of 10, a lot of these actors that play gay end up coming out of the closet years later anyway. But let's just entertain the fact that these are straight people. Whenever straight actors get these roles, automatically, y'all want to give them Oscars. Charlize Theron played a lesbian serial killer. Eileen Wuornos got a damn Oscar. Then we got recently, what the hell that boy name? The one that played Jeffrey Dahmer won an Oscar playing a gay serial killer. Jared Leto plays a hot mess of a trans woman, gets a damn Oscar. So we've seen Rami Malek plays Freddie Mercury in Bohemian Rhapsody, wins an Oscar. So that's basically what we're saying. It's like straight people play gay, and it's like, oh my God, it's so groundbreaking. You're so brave for playing that homosexual. Let's give them an award. So it feels like I was saying earlier about when it comes to the Oscars, and with the whole thing with Neil Long and diversity and bringing these people in and all this other stuff. It feels performative almost. Whenever you have these people playing these niche roles, or these roles that are deemed minority roles. So I totally agree with everything Adam Lambert said, and we're in the same age range, so he totally gets it, because we came up in around the same time of like seeing how the industry is and the way they treat things, and the small little crack door opening that they make for little things to get in. It's like, oh yeah, we're being progressive and we're changing and we're doing all these things, but you're really not. You're just cracking it open a little bit. It's like kick in the doorway, then the 4-4, in the words of Biggie Smalls. So Sailor Murray said, yeah, the thing with openly gay / queer actors is they aren't marketable to a mainstream demographic, aka straight demographic, and it's worldwide. Because now, yeah, the demographic, especially for China, is like the big demographic now. America, the domestic numbers is not enough for box office success anymore. It's got to be able to sell overseas, and which probably is why they, watered down. They excuse me, because I burped. I just pulled the Wendy Williams live on air. Which is why they do like what do you call it? What is that? Because I whitewash got a white, when it, real black. They queer wash. So y'all try to dilute the gayness of a character, because you would have thought that if you saw Bohemian Rhapsody that Freddie Mercury was gay. The way they were trying to play him like he loved women more than he loved any other gender. The man was gay. He may have fooled around with women because it was the 70s. It was all about free love and stuff, but the man liked penis. Silver also said, despite being in progressive society, Hollywood continues to be very conservative. Absolutely. I just wish they would just lie on their sword and own their shit instead of trying to pretend to be something they're not. So all the bullet points that Adam Lambert made, I've been screaming that from the rooftops for years, and I'm glad that we had somebody who actually echoes my sentiments. Now, speaking of Adam Lambert, he also addressed the infamous 2009 American Music Awards same-sex kiss. He says that ABC threatened to file a lawsuit against him. Now, this is via Paper Magazine, or via Paper, because they have a website too. It says, Adam Lambert's shocking announcement as runner-up of the 8th season of American Idol was a devastating blow for countless gays, but it inspired him to be one of the most exciting openly gay performers of the late 2000s and early 2010s. Before Bad Bunny locked lips with his background dancer, and Lil Nas X kissed his background dancer at the BET Awards. Let's not forget that. There was Adam Lambert making headlines for kissing his keyboardist at the 2009 American Music Awards, and it almost cost him. While taking the stage at the 2023 Creative Coalition Spotlight Initiative Gala to be nominated for his role in Fairyland, the singer reflected on some pivotal moments in his career, saying, "I did the kind of performance I'd seen since I was a teenager." Lambert recalled, "I wanted to be sexy and have dancers on stage, and I did a couple of suggestive moves with some of my dancers and an impromptu kiss with my bass player. While it's not as shocking now, Lambert's stunt in the heat of the moment made some higher-ups very upset. The network was like, 'How dare you? They banned me for a while. They threatened me with a lawsuit,' the American Idol alum recalled. I was like, oh, okay, but that's where we're at." While on his press run for the film over the weekend, Lambert also clarified a few things. Notably, he cleared the air after making headlines about Theo James. We talked about that prior, about the whole thing of, whether or not George Michael should be played by a gay actor or a straight actor. But let's get on to this one, because so he said he also reflected on the shocking upset when he lost to Chris Allen on American Idol when asked if he felt homophobia was to blame. He says, "Probably, but it was 10 years ago. The thing about our film is that even though it takes place in the 70s, there are so many ideas in it that are current. LGBTQ people are under attack again by the conservative part of our country." The AMAs and the rampant homophobia he faced in the industry did not deter Lambert, saying, "I'm going to be as gay as I effing can be, and be flamboyant and be wild. And if it gets me into trouble, it gets me into trouble. I'm not going to back down from it," he said in his speech at the Creative Coalition Spotlight Initiative Gala. And I said, and this is why nobody gives a damn about them dry ass AMAs, because y'all still picking corny, boring ass pop stars who don't take the time to rehearse, who don't take time to put on a real good show, who take time to do choreography or whatever. And that's why y'all keep waiting for Beyonce to put out a damn record, because none of your faves are giving. So shout out to Adam Lambert. I know he has a covers album that he's releasing. I personally was hoping we get an original album of music. So it's like Adam Lambert and Sam Smith. Those are the ones I always look forward to. I heard that Sam Smith actually sold out one of his 2 nights performances in August at Madison Square Garden. He's doing 2 nights there. So, look, the LGBT community, the gays, is selling out stuff. So, shout out to Sam for selling out one of his 2-night shows. I'm sure he'll sell out the second one. And good luck to you, Adam Lambert. I've always been a fan. I've always loved everything that you were about. Like, you're a class act. He's someone who just like, you know what? I'm going to be me and I'm going to do whatever I want. I don't give a damn what people say. And if you don't like me, then oh well. If it costs me some moments in my career of me being as big as like a Justin Bieber or somebody, so be it. But I'm going to just let my flame burn bright, in the words of Emma Honeycutt from Queer as Folk. So shout out to you. Let's get into this story. Okay, so earlier in the week, people got their tits in a twist over a few reports that a trans group found Aretha Franklin's classic song Natural Woman deeply offensive. So this story, shout out to iHeartRadio for it, but it, while people were getting riled up, because I first saw it on the Neighborhood Talk, a lot of those, and I already know, when you post something on a Neighborhood Talk, when you post something on, the Shade Room and all these other places, we already know what it's giving. You don't have to read the comments to know the type of enticement that they're looking for. They're looking to rile up the homophobes and the transphobes that don't even like trans people, don't like gay people. So they're going to rile them up and be like, I don't like them. I don't like those people. They messy, they this, that, and the third. But I feel like it's distraction from the bigger picture. So let's entertain this foolishness, because apparently it was a hoax. But since you put that energy in the universe, you put it out there in the ether, we got to talk about it. So the person behind the Twitter account that claimed the classic Aretha Franklin song is offensive and trans people confirmed Two trans people confirmed Monday it was a joke, saying this is a parody account. The user who did not provide his or her real name told iHeartRadio.ca via direct message, "Never imagined anyone would take it seriously, LOL." Well, child, if you put something out there, you already know, like I stated before, people who don't like trans people who don't, like that part of the community, you're going to rile them up. And particularly when you have certain bloggers and certain influencers who like to push that negative narrative, you already know what it's giving, but you didn't think. So it must be somebody white, clearly. Because it is giving mayo. The individual said it was intended as a commentary on woke culture and media stupidity. Okay, so are you a Republican too? Because woke means, and I'm tired of reiterating what woke means. Woke basically means to give awareness to people who are in marginalized communities. So anybody who is discriminated against for being Black, a woman, LGBT, a minority, any minority that is discriminated against, will bring awareness to it. That's what woke means. So when y'all try to come out here and spin this narrative and turn it into something else, first of all, you tried it, and it's not going to work. And it just proves how dumb you really are. So you must be white and one of those, and a Republican. I said, not one media outlet contacted me prior to reporting this ish. The word parody was subsequently added to the account info. Bio. The Twitter account @transmindful made headlines for suggesting last week that Aretha Franklin's 1967 song "You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman" is offensive to trans people. The account purported to belong to TCMA, Transcultural Mindfulness Alliance, an organization recently founded exclusively by trans individuals promoting cultural changes to ensure the inclusivity of trans individuals. It claimed its mission is to push forward the culture and remove harmful anti-trans associations in music, movies, and television. Now, in January 20th, TCMA tweeted that it wants "You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman" removed from streaming services because it perpetuates multiple harmful anti-trans stereotypes. No, it doesn't, but okay. TCMA tweeted, "There is no such thing as a natural woman," and claimed without evidence that the song has helped inspire acts of harm against transgender women. Okay. Ciao. The song's lyrics were written by Jerry Goffin and put to music by Carole King. In addition to Franklin's original, King recorded a version for her album Tapestry and has been covered by Mary J. Blige, Bonnie Tyler, and Celine Dion. Some people pointed out it was a parody. But to me, it's tasteless. And it's stupid. But here's the thing. How can you say there's no such thing as a natural woman? We're talking about biology and this, that, and the third. Some people feel like, well, if you were assigned female at birth and that is how you choose to identify, so basically a cis woman, most people would say that those are biological women. Those are natural women. Whereas a trans woman is a trans woman. You are someone who was born, like, say, instance, I was born male. I identify as male. But one day, if I decide I want to wake up, which ain't going to happen, but let's entertain it. So tomorrow I decide to wake up and say I want to transition into a woman. I'm not a natural woman. I don't know what the fuck it's like to be a woman. I ain't never had a pussy. I don't menstruate. I can't bear children. I can bear them from my balls. Like, I can stick my dick in a woman and get her pregnant. But I can't carry a baby to term. A woman can. Well, I shouldn't say that because not all women can bear children. Some people struggle to have kids. So we also need to kind of point that out as well. So just because, and some people will say because you can't have kids, you're not a natural woman either. So there's a whole layer of things that goes on with that. We could be here all day talking about it. We're not going to do it. Y'all can leave y'all comments down below and let me know how you feel about this. But to me, it's like, I need these groups, if y'all want attention, like PETA or whatever, y'all need to stop with the game. Stop playing with these marginalized communities and other people so y'all could just make a little funny little whatever. Because people's lives is at stake with this. There are literally people out here who will kill people that are killing people for being trans. for being different. And when y'all go out here and y'all make these little statements and y'all say these little ignorant things you thinking is funny, you don't realize the danger you put people in with this foolishness. And to add on to this, I think there was a Lady Bunny responded to that, but I want to get to that, to something I posted about. There was a debate on trans men versus, men who were assigned male at birth. And I'm going to read her comment in a minute because, she did talk about the Todrick thing too, but she replied on my page about something with regards to that, because there's been a lot of debates this week coming out about gender identity and who is trans and are you a real man and a real woman and etc. Like, there was even something of drama. T.S. Madison got into it with a trans woman today on social media that's gone viral. I don't know if y'all looked at Gay Magazine and Neighborhood Talk. A lot of us talk about it because I watched her live earlier today. Shout out to T.S. Madison. I live for you. And I was kind of with her on this too. See, I might get mad at me, but I don't give a damn. So there was a trans woman, someone who identified as trans, by the name of Kaylee, who says that in her town, everybody knows she's trans. She was trying to use the bathroom in one of the individual stalls or whatever the case was. And some lady decided, a neighbor, she said, pointed out that's the ladies' room, and continued to misgender her and say that you're not trans, you're a man, and this, that, and the third. Now, when I look at Kaylee, and this is no shade, but I got to call it like I see it, Kaylee literally looked like Chester the Molester. And that's no shade. I'm just saying. Kaylee big, got long hair, looked like a truck driver, full-on facial hair, a beard, mustache, and everything. Not even 5 o'clock shadow. That's like 9:45 shadow. And this is not no transphobia or this other stuff. So suck my ass with that. But what I'm going to say is, I know it's like, I've seen trans people that even though some of y'all look like a brick, at least y'all try hard to be trans presenting. I look at Kaylee. Kaylee look like a damn man. Kaylee ain't put no effort in looking like no woman. Like, nobody said that you need to get Invisalign or laser surgery. We know the laser is expensive. We know all that other stuff is expensive. We're not saying you'll get a full-on makeover like a Caitlyn Jenner. Caitlyn got money coming out her ass, so she could go in looking like Bruce and come out looking like Jessica Lange from one of the seasons of American Horror Story. She could go and do that. And I understand a lot of people don't have the money or whatever. And I understand in reality, trans people are like, well, even though I look like a man on the outside, I identify in my mind as trans. Well, unfortunately, a lot of us ain't Oda Mae Brown. We ain't clairvoyant. We don't read minds. And while I understand, as someone who has a lot of trans friends and understand spectrums and trans identity, that if the person identifies as trans, even though they're presenting on the outside, on the exterior as a male, but you say that on your paperwork, your certificate, all that stuff, you say you trans, you a woman, I will respectfully say, miss, ma'am, whatever. But if I'm just seeing you for the first time, you don't think people gonna call you a man? People gonna say, sir? She probably ain't taking not one damn hormone shot, but you saying you a trans woman. But I get it. Like I said, that there are women or trans people who say that they are this, even though they haven't gone through the steps of the hormones and the therapy and all that other stuff, which is required if you're going to go through those steps of transitioning. So when Kaylee, I'm a woman, I could go in a ladies' room if I want. That attitude, that's giving me cis, white, well, not even cis, that's giving me just white privilege. Because you feel that as a white person, y'all can just walk into a room freely and it's okay. Which is kind of the overall attitude a lot of white people tend to walk around with in life anyway. Black trans women don't have that luxury. And that was something that T.S. Madison was addressing. She said some white trans person got picked on and something other, or said something, or I don't remember exactly the story. She says it in her live. I hope she saved it, and y'all can watch it when you get a chance. And I think she said she's going to address it again when she does her next show. on YouTube. But watching that, it was like, she said that the white girl said something or another about she was getting picked on, trans, this, that, and the third, and a surgeon saw the video and flew the girl out and gave her a whole makeover free of charge. How many trans black girls you know, or trans women of color, you know they get that luxury? They get the red carpet rolled out for them. So that's what basically TS was getting at. It's like, you know what? These white trans women or whatever, same thing with this previous one we talked about. Y'all like running out here talking about why we can't have this, why we can't do that. Because the world ain't kind. The world ain't always fair. The world ain't always going to give you what you want. We're always going to have to deal with adversities and discrimination and all that other shit in life. It's just the way it is, the way the cookie crumbles. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it is what it is. So, Kaylee, you have to realize that if you're going to be looking the way you look, even though you identify as trans, this is the discrimination you have to deal with. Trans people deal with discrimination all the time. Unfortunately, effeminate gay men deal with discrimination all the time. So this is the way the world is. America's not like this lovey-dovey place. There's like people mad at Beyonce over performing in Dubai. But we got 26 damn states in America that still are discriminating against LGBTQ people. So yeah, if y'all get a chance, definitely check that video out because, you know, T.S. Madison addressed it. And yeah, she addressed it, and then what else? So yeah, she addressed it. Kaylee was watching the live and basically addressed the same situation. I'm trying to find this thing real quick and then we can move. Okay, so I found it. So Lady Bunny said this when I posted the video on, it was trans men versus born men debate, and this was on TikTok. So it was on my Instagram. Y'all can watch it and then leave y'all thoughts in the comments. So Lady Bunny says, straight guys don't usually think about the effects of their speech. Their wives will come home hoping their husband will notice their new hairdo or outfit and the guy doesn't. Ask them what's for dinner. Instead, will straight guys ever be sensitive on the whole? Maybe, but I doubt it. And there are many trans, like T.S. Madison, who claim that a trans woman is not a biological woman. I know other trans who feel this way. That doesn't mean they want you to disrespect them, but it means they know they started as men and transitioned to women. But some trans women never want to acknowledge that they were never male, like Janet Mock. Like all blacks, all straight men, all blacks, all trans don't feel the same way. And I'm like, absolutely. And that's the thing. It's like, this is why I believe cis women feel the way they do towards trans women, you know, the transphobes or whatever. Because they feel like, oh, well, we have to fight these other girls for our men. Now I got to fight these trans women for our men too. Because a lot of these trans girls want to, you know, they feel like they're trying to occupy their space. That may be true for some, but not all. There are some people that's like, you know what? Yes, I was born a male. I'm now a woman. I don't want to try to occupy your space. I'm not trying to take your man. I'm not trying to do that. I just want to live my life and just be me without being bothered or without bothering people. Let me live my life. And I'm all for that. Let people live the way they want to live. And I saw Caleb was getting death threats. He said, if you went in the bathroom with my daughter, you would not come out alive. Like, people saying all of that. So it's crazy out in these streets. To protect yourself, y'all can't just be walking around freely and thinking that people are just going to be accepting. It's unfortunate. There's a lot of people that don't, and we were saying many a times on this damn show that, you know, how many trans women die every year? Particularly women, trans women of color. I'm always reporting on them, even though the media won't. And I'll probably be doing it again this year. So shout out to y'all. I did want to hear y'all thoughts on this whole debate because, you know, it was a heavy one. Okay, so let's get into the topic. Madonna and, you know, the recent tour announcement of her celebration tour. You know, she did the little video where she was doing a little a wink to her documentary in Truth or Dare, where, you know, Diplo, Eric Andre, Jack Black, Amy Schumer, Lil Wayne, and countless others were in the video, and they were like doing a whole Truth or Dare thing. So that was cute. Then the tour dates and everything came out. I finally got approved for my tickets for the Saturday show in August, I believe. I don't remember the exact date, but I got approved for my tickets. I gotta find out what the seating is because my connect, I told you, works at Madison Square Garden. I gotta remind him, find out the seating, but because I got the ticket price came out, I was like, "Ooh, that's a good price." First of all, I'm paying less than my Janet Jackson tickets. Janet Jackson was some good seats, and it was $200 for the tickets I got. Well, Madonna, it was a lot less, but I guess the perks of working at Madison Square Garden, I might get a good seat, the discount. So I'm excited. So I gotta find out what the seating arrangements is. I'll find that out this week, a couple of days. I'm gonna have to remind them, but I digress. So I'm really looking forward to the tour. She added a bunch of, I told you she added a bunch of dates. She added, I heard, 2 more dates to New York. So she's gonna be doing 6 shows in New York, 4 at Madison Square Garden and 2 at the Barclays Center in December. Because I don't think she could book any more days at MSG. I think they're all booked up. So with the tour, everybody's like, what's going on with the biopic? We talked a little bit about it I talked about it a little bit, I should say, on TikTok, where I addressed what's happening with the biopic. She put it on hold because she's focusing on the tour. I don't know if I necessarily believe that was all the reasons. I was like, let me just sit and wait. I said in my head, I didn't say it out loud. I was like, let me just wait, and when all the tea comes out, then we'll talk about it. So, Julia Fox from Ozark is supposed to be in the biopic, but I don't know if she'll be able to stay on board if the film comes back around. So we got a reason as to why why it isn't happening. So it said Madonna will someday make a film about her life, a friend of the singer from to Page 6, but this tour is the creative and professional focus for M right now. The Vogue icon was going to direct the film herself, but an insider revealed that there was a fallout from Universal over the script, saying basically they don't like it. The insider said of the studio, they want it to be pop and light. Madonna wants something much grittier, and it's come to a stalemate. She'd rather go to another studio than change the script. She still wants to make the film, but would now look at it again after the tour, said the insider. She's keeping the same writers, but is aware that she might have to recast if the actors aren't available. Now, during an Instagram live session on September 2020, Madonna revealed that the film would cover my struggles as an artist trying to live in a man's world as a woman. She first teamed up with Oscar winner Diablo Cody of Juno fame before replacing her with Erin Wilson, who wrote the screenplays for Secretary and The Girl on the Train. Now, last June, it was reported that Ozark star Julia Garner, who had won the role of the pop icon following a grueling 16-week-long singing and dancing boot camp said to be attended by Florence Pugh, Alexa Demi, Odessa Young, and singer Bebe Rexha. The delay didn't slow down the trajectory of Garner, who recently won both a Golden Globe and an Emmy for her work on Ozark. She's now signed on to film the thriller The Royal Hotel, which follows 2 young women backpacking in Australia, as well as the thriller Apartment 7. But I will say this. I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. I really think Madonna needs to let someone who has directed biopics direct this film. Maybe a Baz Luhrmann, maybe the guy who directed Bohemian Rhapsody. But do I feel Madonna needs to direct this biopic? No, I don't want her to direct. First of all, Madonna is not a good director. I love her as a singer. I think she's an amazing performer. She has solidified herself as one of the icons in the pop world. But as far as films and stuff go, it's a no. I know you want that Oscar so bad. Most likely you will get it for Best Original Song when you create the closing song for the movie. But anything else, she's too much of a control freak. And I get it. It's your life. You should be able to tell it the way you want to tell it. And I'm here for the grittiness. I honestly hope that she could take it to a streaming service like a Hulu or Netflix or somebody, and they could do like an 8-part miniseries. To me, Madonna's career spans 40 years. I can't see it being judged down to a 2-hour movie. So I really think that she needs to reconsider, similar to what I think about the upcoming Michael Jackson biopic that they're doing with Antoine Fuqua. I do not think that Michael Jackson's movie needs to be a 2-hour film. I think that Michael Jackson needs a solo biopic miniseries. That's what I think. It needs to be maybe 6 to 8 episodes on a streaming service. I know y'all want to do the whole theatrical thing because you want to have the grand extravaganza-ness of like the performances and the crowds and this, that, and the third. TV is big enough. We can see all of that stuff that way. But I don't see it working in like a 2-hour movie format. Like, these people have so much going on in their lives, particularly Madonna. And Madonna's someone who's willing to tell it all. You know, the essay that she experienced in New York when she was coming up, you know, her marriages, I'm sure she wants to talk about that. Her coming up in the trenches of the music industry, being in a man's world of being like always fighting being a woman and sexuality and ageism and all that other stuff. So there's so many things that she needs to cover. I can't see them doing that in 2 hours. So I'm really looking forward to the movie. Maybe we'll get it a couple of years from now, but I'm also looking forward to this tour. So, and last but certainly not least, it's been confirmed that TJ Holmes and Amy Robach are out as co-anchors at GMA3. Now, according to Page 6, a source with knowledge of the talks taking place this week revealed that they have not finished mediation, but yes, that will be a conclusion as far as Robach and Holmes leaving the network. Essentially, we're told the journalists have not yet signed on the dotted line, but an exit agreement is in the works and will happen immediately. Now, sources close to ABC also told TMZ Friday that after an extremely contentious mediation, the station and its anchors have decided to cut ties. Now, both Robach, who's 49, and Holmes, who's 49, have reportedly received contract payouts. So yeah, because I'm like, if you're under contract, I'm sure that if you're under contract, it's like, well, wait a minute. So if they're under contract, we have to kind of pay them out. You can't have them in the contract, and if it's not in the clause that they could be fired for fraternizing, you know, at work, which, child, we already know TJ was a whole hoe. He was screwing many of people that he was working with, including Amy, who had a whole husband, and he had a whole wife. But he was out here being a Rolling Stone. Everywhere he laid his head was his home. Or I should say, every office he slithered in. Because that's what it seemed like he was doing. And these girls out here all of a sudden spilling tea about sleeping with TJ. First of all, y'all get no sympathy for me. Y'all knew what the hell y'all was doing when y'all got with that man. Y'all was trying to Monica Lewinsky the whole situation, thinking, oh, you're young and this, that, and the third, and maybe he'll give me a leg up if I throw my legs up. And now y'all want sympathy and empathy. Fuck out of here. I don't feel bad for you bitches. And if that makes me sound like a misogynistic pig, oh goddamn well. All things ain't good things. And just because, you know, you're a girl or whatever the case is, you don't get a pass for being messy. Now, another insider told Page 6 regarding reaching a deal, unless ABC reaches a satisfactory departure agreement with both Amy and TJ, they could both be looking at filing lawsuits against the network. They also heard that Holmes and Robach have been conducting the mediation talks from LA, where they both jetted off following a quick debate. Keiko's. Now, a source told TM the pair were accused of various forms of misconduct, which the insider labeled a witch hunt. Among the accusations was the alcohol had been found in Robach's dressing room. However, one insider disputed that the outlet that the allegation was ridiculous, as ABC execs had gifted the liquor bottles. Robach was also accused of showing up drunk to work after attending the college football national championship last year, which an insider says was an insane claim. So what they're trying to do is, just because they slept with each other and they're trying to find a way to get rid of them, they feel like an assassination of character is what we need to do to get rid of them, which I think is kind of tacky and tasteless. Now, to wrap all this up, I want to say this. Now, didn't they say something or another they were getting married? Are y'all going to do that? First of all, is the ink dry on the divorce papers from either one of y'all before y'all even trying to get married? And I don't even know why y'all trying to entertain getting married when how you get them is how you're gonna lose them. So I will not be surprised if TJ get a job somewhere else and start doing the same thing that he was doing to you to a bunch of other women. But then again, if the networks that he'll work at is smart, they will keep a strong eye on him because they know his reputation. When your reputation out there, Hollywood is small. The industry is small. They're gonna keep an eye on you, and you're not gonna be able to do the things that you thought you got away with at GMA and ABC over at any other network. And then on top of that, another question. I wonder after all of this, will Amy stay with TJ? Or will she, push him to the curb for her career? And if that happens, you know what people are gonna say. Oh, you see, he went and got with that white woman. Look what she did to him. But we're not gonna put race into this. This is him being messy, her being messy. They deserve each other. Race ain't gotta be a counterpart in everything. If he want to be out here and be a messy boots fool, let him do that. So I'm just curious to see how all this is going to play out. And I'm going to definitely keep my eye on this story because I'm sure it is not going anywhere anytime soon. But on that note, I want to thank you all for watching tonight's episode of The Rundown. Tune in next week for a brand new episode where we will break down more celebrity hot topic. Child, you tell me to rap, I'm already rapping. So, with that, on that note, until next time, ciao, darlings.